our focus to the FNB Women's Varsity Football. It gets underway today and will wrap up on the 19th of August. Live on your World of Champions. 8 top varsities competing for that massive and beautiful crown of being crowned the Queens of Varsity Diski. We've got 4 games live and in the splendor of high definition, getting us off on round 1. The debutants, UFH playing up against UKZN, and then you have UPTax yet to still win this competition, taking on Wits, and the big one, last year's rematch of the final, University of Johannesburg taking on University of the Western Cape. A very good afternoon and a warm welcome to round 1 of the 2023 FNB Varsity Women's Football. Thank you all so much for joining us. Use that hashtag #EACHESA. Follow us on all social media platforms. That hashtag is also SS Football. I'm alongside James Mayinga. He was with us this time last year. James Mayinga, always a pleasure having you pitch side. When you look at this tournament and you look at how far and how well Banyana did in the FIFA Women's World Cup, it's a testament that women's sports is growing.
A very good morning, Lindy, and to our viewers. Indeed, it is a real testimony. For me, it's all about the success stories. When you speak about Banyana, Katlane, Mahaya, and others, they've been a part of this varsity football. In fact, women's varsity football has been a cornerstone for Banyana. I won't be surprised if Coach Desaillis will be here just to scout and check a new players. But at the end of the day, this is the platform the girls have been looking for, so they have to shine. We are here for her. Let them make it count for their universities.
Absolutely. Your World of Champions is here for 8 teams competing in this year's competition. We welcome back the University of KwaZulu-Natal. They weren't here last year. Debutants, University of Fort Hare. Interesting to see how they will fare in this particular competition. We know in varsity men's football, this year there is no UPTax. However, they will be represented in varsity women's football. University they weren't here last year. They gave us the Shamase twins last year. Who will they likely to give us this year, James?
Wow. I mean, they always unearth a new gems and new queens. So for me, it will be interesting to see how Coach Mudigo, she will be lining up as defending champions. Trust me, it won't be easy.
These are the groups you can look forward to. Group A, we have the reigning champions, UJ, DUT, University of the Western Cape. Of course, they've won this competition once. And of course, the most successful team in varsity women's football history, the Tshwane University of Technology. Group B, University of KwaZulu-Natal, UPTax, University of Fort Hare, as well as the Wits University. Now, we mentioned it briefly. Only 3 teams have won this competition. UJ, TUT, as well as UWC, the likes of UWC giving us a Tembi Khatlana. TUT, the most successful team, James.
Yes, they have been consistent in this varsity, women's varsity football. The good thing about them is that they are not only just being consistent, but also unearthing some of the players that we've seen to even don the Banyana shirts. So it tells a lot in terms of the preparation, how they take it serious. I'm only worried about the University of Fort Hare because they're debutants. Academically, they have produced leaders, African leaders. But in terms of soccer or football, it's something that we still have to see whether will they able to do it.
Yeah. Well, James Mayinga did mention some of the graduates from this particular competition, the likes of Refile Jane, Tembi Khatlana, Hilda Mahaya, but it doesn't end here because we're also looking forward to seeing the female officiating in this particular competition. We saw the likes of Akona Makalima representing the green and gold of South Africa at the recent FIFA Women's World Cup, James.
It's massive. The amount of exposure that women's varsity football give, or varsity football at large, because at the end of the day, it's all about giving a platform to showcase your God-given talent. And for me, if you embrace the opportunity, trust me, the sky's the limit.
Well, it's debutants, UFH up against UKZN. James mentioned something really interesting off air. UFH, the height's difference between these sides.
Wow, I'm just worried because if you look at their height, they are more of 1'6", 1'5". When it comes to set pieces, come to women's football, most of the time the ball is always on the air. Only if they have good ball carriers, and then it can be a different dimension. Yes, they haven't lost in their social regional league, but this is a different ball game. Even though the playing fields are level, you look at UKZN, they're coming here strong, wanting to be a Cyprus package.
You look at UKZN, of course, they are returning in this competition, James. They've got the experience of varsity football.
Absolutely, and they use those lessons and experience they've gained previously. Remember, they didn't do well lastly, but the participation gives them the minutes under their belt, knowing that varsity football or varsity competition comes with a lot of exposure, comes with a lot of expectation, more especially when you're World of Champions in-house. With those big lenses, trust me, everything changes the dimension.
We are here for her 7 teams looking to dethrone the University of Johannesburg for that coveted crown of being crowned the 2023 Varsity Women's Football winners at the end of this competition. Let's hear from the respective coaches on how they've prepared for match day 1. Asanda, your first appearance in this competition, how are the ladies feeling?
Yeah, bonwabile kakhulu, bonwabile because kudala befuna ukuza lapho le varsity football. So at last we made it here.
Asikhulume ngepreparation yenu ukuthatha isikhathi singakanani ukuthi nilungiselele i-varsity football?
I will say kusathe about 3 weeks ukufocasa kahle kahle ku varsity football because isikhathi sibhizi Sasol League ixesha elininzi. As much as babi sisebenzisa players ezininzi ku Sasol League, but i-focus ibingekho that much ku varsity football. Ibe that much after i-22 ka July because kulapho besigqiba khona i-league yethu besidlala Sasol League.
As ama-debutants kule competition, nifuna uku-achieve yini? Is it about fun? Is it about learning? Are you going all the way to the final?
I can't talk about the final. Yes, kuba siyasifikela lapha. Sizofuna ukufunda. Yabo sizofuna ukufunda and sifuna like ukwenza sure bana sine experience enough so that sizophinda sibuye because injongo uphinda sibuye sifuna ukuhlala apha ku varsity football.
Siyabonga coach, good luck.
Oh, thank you so much.
Nomusa, welcome back to varsity football. How was the mood in your camp?
The mood was very high. Sanbonani first, the mood was very high too, especially to the players because some of them, it's their first experience on the varsity cup. So they're all happy, as well as the technical team.
We're happy to have you back. How much time have you had preparing for this competition?
Actually, with the team, I've spent 2 weeks that I'm satisfied with preparing with my ladies. Yeah.
What are you looking for in this opening fixture?
I'm looking forward to have good results because the first game, it shows where you're going from. So we're going to. So we're actually looking for the win today. If not a win, maybe a draw would be enough for us because it's our first time participating in the varsity football.
Siyabonga coach.
Siyabonga kakhulu.
Well, Coach Asanda of UFH speaks about, enjoying the game, but moreover, James, learning as much as possible.
Absolutely, they're coming here without any expectations, but wanting to try and make a stride in this varsity universe. So if you look at Kapiana, Chaitwa, it's one player that you'll be banking, and as a captain, she needs to lead. But my worry is will Dinoyo, because they only have one goalkeeper, will able to sustain the duration of the tournament. Because if she gets injured, it means they need to find an infielder.
Well, it's going to be a challenge for UFH, and this is how University of KwaZulu-Natal are lighting up players that you can look forward to, James.
Zetembiso Vilakazi, she's one of those players that they will be banking their hopes on. The question is, is she able to find the likes of Pumla Nkomo when they try to attack the UFS? It's something that we still have to see in terms of how the coach will line up his team.
Well, it's debutants UFH up against experience in UKZN. James, how do you see this one panning out?
It's a little bit difficult to do because as debutants, they want to make a good impression. But at the end of the day, it's up to how they take the game into UKZN team.
There's plenty on offer on your World of Champions. We've got a 4-part documentary getting underway next month that you can look forward to. It is Pulse of a Nation. September is a big month on your World of Champions as the Springboks also look forward to defending the Webb Ellis Trophy and, of course, looking forward to retaining it as they get underway in the Rugby World Cup in France. James Mayinga will be joining Bafana Mosman in English commentary. We also have the pleasure of being joined by Butumelo Potsane in Sesotho, bringing us match day 1 of the 2023 Varsity Women's Football. Who will the crown go to? Will University of Johannesburg successfully defend it? You have to stay tuned to your World of Champions to find out.
Well, a very good afternoon to you and welcome to it. It's the World of Champions coming to you from the nation's capital. That's where we are at the Tshwane University of Technology Stadium to kick off what will be an exciting 4 days of women's football. We will be starting off the first match on offer. Of course, it's University of UFH debutants in the tournament. They take on tournaments returnees in University of KwaZulu-Natal in what will certainly be an exciting one. Well, both the coaches have had their fair share of opinions and what they want from their both respective sides. Well, for us to do now is to see if the players will play to instruction or will it be the day wherein the debutants turn to surprise everybody. A true surprising package because they're making their debut in the tournament. Well, UKZN and have taken part in this tournament before. Well, they will know University of UFH very well as UKZN. They've clashed in USA's last game in the 3-1 loss, the 4-3 loss to University of UFH. On the day, it was UKZN that managed to pick up all the victories. So, waiting for the lady in the middle to meet up with the two captains for the F&B coin toss to get us underway. Well, we'll wait for the opportunity of the meet and greet between the two players. We're still waiting to see on how they'll both will be turning up. So, first game of the day will set the precedent to what we can expect to this tournament as we go on and on. Well, defending champions are here. Also, they'll be playing their game later, which is UJ. They'll be taking on UWC, a repeat of last year's final. So there's a lot on the menu. So stay here with us. We'll be bringing you this action the entire day. So the two captains go on in the middle to meet. Kwaita Kapiana is the captain of the home sites. And the referee in that middle, Shoni Pile Msizana, 27 years of age, mid-distance marathon runner. She'll definitely be kept on her toes in this encounter. Well, will be assisted by Amukhelang Msiza, as well as Rose Mukwena, those that hail from right here in Pretoria, in Nelmafias. That's where they come from. This is how the University of UFH will be lining up. Players to look out for. Jersey number 10 is Ngeke. He scored 13 goals in this year's campaign of the Sasso League. Also up front, led out by Makakaza, 22-year-old of Etukwa, the top goal scorer with 14 goals this season, 16 goals last season. So there's lots to truly expect. A very thin squad of UFH. One wonders how they will be able to cope. Amahle Tinwayo, they will need her in between the sticks to stay as fit as possible as the time goes on. So they'll pose for the pictures. It will definitely be one to remember for them as they make their debut. They could be the very well surprise package. Well, making their second appearance in the tournament is UKZN, and this is rather the lineup of how University of UFH will be lining up. James,
you spoke about Ngece, but I'm here to say the new Sile will be very key at the back to make sure that she shuts the back door.
Well, the back door will certainly need to be shut at worst as possible. The last time these two teams met in USA, 7 goals were scored on the day, and the University of KwaZulu-Natal, their attack will be led by Zitembi Sovilarazi up front. Will be playing alongside Spesihle Fihlela and their captain Nogukanya Ngonyama playing as a wing-back. Expect her to be doing the runs and looking to get the balls into the box. The centre-back pairing of Kukumshongo as well as Dube will certainly be the one to look out for. In between the stick, 19-year-old Snenhlanhla Mtshali. They'll be hoping that they're lucky, certainly today.
Absolutely. They will be looking forward to attack with so much conviction because they know that at the back everything will be fine. But it's all about the belief. It's all about wanting to get into that score sheet.
A 4-3-3 formation as well. That's how UKZN is lining up.
Ntsele and also Changase, very key in terms of making sure that they give you the balance and also the width that they will be looking for.
Well, they're waiting for the lady in the middle to get us going, and what will certainly be an exciting encounter. We're up and away. It's the University of Forte that kick us off, are taking the goal to the left-hand side of your picture in their black and gold colors. The white with the touch of green, yellow and blue is a UKZN. They'll be taking the goal to the left-hand side of your picture. Already looking to get things going earlier on. Whipping the ball into the box was Nchangase. Already asking the questions. First corner of the match goes the way of University of KwaZulu-Natal.
We spoke about the height of UFH. Now the question is, will Amahle be there, be key in terms of making sure that she presents that aerial height they will be looking for?
First corner. Well, taken short. Possession given away. Defensively, they failed to clear. Eventually, the clearance come the way of Zinyusile. Outside. Ngonyama. Now plays it to the wide hand side. Couldn't be able to locate Slindile Ndlovu. So intentions clear from UKZN. And the last time these two sides met, James, it was in the USA playoffs, where they both finished 6th and 7th respectively. It was University of Forte that finished in 6th position to qualify for this tournament. UKZN finished in 7th position. It was interesting to see that it delivered 7 goals that match. But the interesting part about it is that UKZN had to come back from 3 goals down, 3-1 down, to eventually winning the match by 4-3.
Let me change the narrative. Those players that did qualify for the USA, some of them are not even part of the varsity football because they don't qualify academically. So you need to be academically sound, and also in terms of making sure that your team goes there. So the unfortunate part is that some of these players, they will be starting their women's varsity football for the first time as debutants, some as for the first time.
The ball from the wide side, couldn't really get it in, and they really tried to push it in. Agreeing with you definitely, James, with UFH, they're missing 3 of their best defenders coming into this tournament. They are all at the age of 26. You obviously know, to play in varsity football,
exactly.
You need to be 25 and under, just like Amahle Dinwayo.
Absolutely, and that's, for me, that sets a good example, because varsity football, they just only produce footballers, but also academically sound footballers for the near future, because you never know exactly where the future lies.
Well, you definitely never know where the future lies. We've seen with how the World Cup has turned out. Jamaica struggling to have enough money to come through. They needed a crowd fund to go and play at this year's FIFA Women's World Cup in New Zealand and Australia. After getting that crowd fund, they did well in the tournament, qualifying for the last 16, and Africa having sent 4 teams in that World Cup. 3 of them made it to the last 16. That is certainly inspiration to some of these players, because the likes of Tembi Khatlane, they donned the very same colors in varsity football back in the days as well. Oh, University of Forte looking to venture forward. Now opportunity presents itself, and Dube doing well to put off Ngeke. But Ngeke still in possession of the ball. Ngeke fails to keep the ball in, and much to her frustration, look as though she took an elbow to her face is Dube.
Indeed, good defending from Dube, not allowing Ngeke to turn there. That was she made sure that she's goal side, and her eyes were glued on the ball.
Well, the ball still falls for University of Forte, looking to cover some ground, and they're really still trying to find their settling touch in this game. Well, referee well positioned to spot that foul. Foul committed by Zifune late in that challenge.
Yes, she was late, caught for pace. But again, they've just given us a glimpse of good passing skills. The only thing is how they will advance forward will be very key.
Well, they're looking to try and advance forward via Nchengase. Oh, pushing at the edge of the 18 area, looking to try and find a teammate. In the end, is cleared away from danger by the captain, Kapiana. Oh, still alive for UKZN. Vilakazi. Well, there's a lot of excitement about UKZN, the deft touches on the ball, the skill. They also possess the confidence and the calm nature of UKZN whenever they're on the ball, in trying to search for a teammate. And now on the far side, looking to try and create something out of nothing. That was Sesetu Jaka. She'll certainly be key on the wings in trying to make sure that she pushes the sides in going forward. Well, 5 minutes. It's truly been dominated by UKZN. And they've only had 2 entries in the final third. Is University of Fort Hare. Such a bit of force to start on the back foot, but they do well to win possession. Well, Nosikom Nkagaza looking to try and turn and find space. A ball looking for Ngete. Will fall back to Snokwala. Well, Nkagaza, well, did well to now she's trying to recover the ball. She does well to get there early, but couldn't find the better of Sinalo Fem. It's a throw-in for University of Fort Hare. Earlier on during the build-up, James heard you talk about the University of Fort Hare and giving a little bit of history on the alumni that have qualified from that school. I'll give you many more of those. University of Fort Hare. The meaning of Fort Hare. Fort Hare was a 1835 British built fort on rocky outcrop at the foothills of Amatola Mountains, close to the present day's town of Alice in the Eastern Cape. You will know that one of the campuses of University of Fort Hare is in Alice. They've got one in Alice and they've got one in East London. And he's in the box now, opportunity, but no, it's in an offside position. Already Vilakazi combined greatly with Fihlela in an offside position earlier on here. Intentions were clear from UKZN from the time the referee blew the start of the match.
They are taking the game to UFH, knowing that they are debutants, so they just want to get that early goal to unsettle their opposition. But unfortunately, as much as they've tried, they have looked so strong at the back and they're able to recover. So for me, you look at the numbers that UFH are pushing forward compared to the ones that are defending. It shows that it will be a game of numbers for them.
A game of numbers, indeed, as they lose yet another battle in the middle of the park. Well, looking to try and keep the defense and keep things going right. The keeper, Dinwayo, comes out and collects. Well shielded. Well shielded by Zinyusele. Spoke earlier about the campuses of UFH. 5 players come from the Alice campus and the others, they come from the East London campus. So there is that they still need to gel together properly. Yes, they've done well in the Sasol League, but those are most of the players that are not registered with the university. Only 8 of those are coming and are playing here, but the gelling is still very vital. Not looking very settled as UFH at the moment.
Absolutely, the cohesion of the team has to come, has to be naturally injected, and that's where the difference is for UFH.
Well, ball, nice one for Makaza. What forces her wide? There's only one to supply in the box. Well, free kick in the edge of the 18 area. The culprit, Unatinzele, will get a talking to as we approach the 10th minute. Is Kwaita Kapiana. early in that challenge, very late.
Very late, also caught for pace. The good thing is that the referee was there to spot on. Now the question is, will they able to use the set pieces? We spoke about their aerial height. Do they have the same height to trouble the UKZN defense? And it's something that, if you look at the face of Mchali, she's a little bit worried in terms of how she's going to line up the one.
Well, trusted brains. She is a student of BSc in applied chemistry, so in her third year, only 19 years of age. So it will be interesting to see how she applies her brains to this.
Speaking about the chemistry, will she have the same chemistry with the wall to do its work?
Okay. Lines it up. It'll be interesting to see if she goes directly for goal. Lines it up and goes over the crossbar. Great idea, will be applauded by those that sit in the bench, but given a second opportunity in the 10th minute, she'll do better, of course.
Absolutely. A lot was expected from her. You could see even the disappointment from the coach. Yes, she managed to get the elevation of the wall, but she couldn't hit the target from there. So surely next time she needs to use the right technique in terms of elevating, but bending or dipping, head the ball dipping. Awumbali jezi number 10 Fontsena ukufane kuba na sungwane songwayitela sonanzika wena.
Well, talk of jersey number 10, they get yet another opportunity, this time from the captain Kapiana, who can't get it on target as yet, but coach Asanda Mnakiniso will be happy to see that, albeit her team is dominated possession wise, the few times they've seen the ball, they've really made it work as they go on to lose yet another ball. Well, doing well to keep it going is Nchangase. Gets a foul also in the favor of UKZN. Opportunity for them to clear their defenses. They've really been under pressure. Every time they try and play the ball out of defense, they're always struggling.
They're inviting pressure. Look at the pressure that has been exaggerated on them, and it tells you that the UFH are playing a lie and wait game of some kind.
Goes out wide to Mkagaza. Well, Mkagaza, that Dube for comfort. Well, Mkagaza again. Dube still tracking her. It doesn't allow her to get the ball into the box. Hey, Fem. No, picked up by Kapiana. Pakiana looks to try and get it into the box. Dube is very close for comfort and gets a foot in. Throw into UFH.
Dubesh have been doing the sweeper covering more often, more especially on the left-hand side. So it shows that the balance of play for UFH is more on the right-hand side. Even if you see like Kachiana, she's there also trying to create something out of it.
Throw in. Captain's unable to hold on to the ball, and Mkagaza gets it into the box. Pressure being applied by UFH. Kapiana. Well, ball whipped into the box. Oh, can't get very far from Shongo. Yet another throw in the final third for UFH. Really truly piling on the pressure on the defense of University of KwaZulu-Natal. Picked up in the middle of the park by Jaka. Concedes possession, looking to try and keep it going now. UKZN is in an opportunity to try and break. Well, that is cut out by Zinyusile. Will look to try and chase and get to the end of that ball, and it's not to be the case. Easy pickups for the goalkeeper, keeping it in. Well, this man, it's not the first time that he's facing UKZN. Asanda Mnakiso was on the bench for WSU, Walter Sisulu University, in 2018 when they played UKZN. He masterminded a 3-1 victory for Walter Sisulu. He'll be hoping to do the very same thing again today. You have to remember that it's 2 groups of 4 teams each. It's a round robin. Mbagaza gets it into the box and too close to the keeper. Well, the bench will applaud, albeit that possession has been dominated by UKZN. The side that has had better chances, James, is UFH.
Absolutely. They are camping on UKZN's half, and the right-hand side of UFH have been very effective. So they just have to make sure that they find something to trouble Mjali in goals more often. Keep her busy.
Well, was concerning times also. Well, they do well to win possession now. Ntshangase unable to keep that ball in and keep it going. The move flowing nicely for UFH. They get yet another shot at goal, albeit it's not on target from Kagaza. She's 22 years from Etujwa. Well, 34-year-old Nomusa Dlamini is in her third year with this team. When she joined the team in 2021-22 season in the Sasso League, she found the team of UKZN almost relegation. With 5 games left, she managed to pick them up from them. Well, under pressure now for the after some longest of times, cleared away from Dejapa and Genelwa. Well, kept alive. Fithiela couldn't really find a teammate and finds the company of Jakla and Snokwala.
She was lucky. She thought the ball, she wanted to play a dummy and then triggering the opponent that the ball is out. Lucky she was bailed out by the assistant referee on the other side. Had it not been for that, it could have been a ball that went a begging.
Ntshangase has truly been the spark of UKZN in that middle of the park, looking to take the battle and the fight to Jakla. Jakla, who's truly been dominant, winning every battle for UFH in that middle of the park. So, yet another corner. Well, this time, it's a goal kick. They thought they had a corner. Well, they'll be hoping. The entire technical team of UKZN, this is their first campaign, albeit that UKZN are in this for the very second time. They'll be hoping to make a name for themselves. Shot with anger from Fithela, and couldn't really trouble Dingwayo. Especially Fithela. Hails from Empangeni, studies Bachelor of Science in Computer Sciences and IT. Her birthday is coming up in a month's time on the 30th of September. Oh, James, in case you were thinking of presents, mine is coming up on the 2nd of September. Just putting it out there.
Spring babies.
Spring boy.
Teka nuko teka, tseka nuko tseka. Khoma nuko khoma shaka ra mina.
Sona sweswo. This time they dominate the battle in the middle of the park as UKZN making inroads into the last third. Hasn't worked out. And looking for an outlet to restart the game. Well, it's quite concerning that UKZN have only one goalkeeper coming into this match. Confirmation that UKZN has been the dominant one as far as possessions are concerned, 58% to 42%.
I'm not surprised because most bulk of that it was also in their own half, whereby they were trying to start from the back and advancing going forward. Yes, UFH, they've only come with one goalkeeper. Now the question is, if she gets injured, do they have an infield player that can play as a substitute? We have seen previously players from infield now going in to deputize for goalkeepers. So yes, it will be interesting to see exactly.
So far, they've got the thinner squad is UFH, but we'll see if how they'll be able to really continue. Dube Zamashandu Omtisantogas Entele Sandla Yanela will be looking to be able to continue. Well, not a lot of concerns from the doctor, and took the ball in the midsection. Oh, tough one.
A very one. I'm not surprised because he has done most of the cover defense for the better part of the first half.
So those that are trickling in the stands have not been served up with goals so far. As we head into the 19th minute, almost 20 minutes in this game, there hasn't been that many goals. Yes, on X, formerly known as Twitter, hashtag yeah, cheers. Please have an opportunity right there to have a conversation with us. You see them out with their phones. They want to tell us what they think. Youth too at home can do the very same.
It's the score prediction app that they are busy activating from their mobile cell phones, and it shows how interactive they are, even though they're at the stadium, but they can see the action clearly, and surely they can have their own predictions. So even at the comfort of your couch at home watching this match, you can also do the same.
Well, it's certainly interesting to see what everyone thinks about it. It's UFH that have had their better chances in front of goal, as opposed to UKZN that have dominated the play. Well, University of Fort Hare, before it was named University of Fort Hare, it was known as the South African Native College, which was later changed to the University of Fort Hare, and ironically was founded in 1916 on the site of the earlier British strongholds. You mentioned the people that studied at that varsity. Yes, it was the first university to accept black students, and in 1939, Nelson Mandela was accepted to study at the university. We'll tell you what he studied as we watch on Fihlela. She loses balance as Fihlela, and in doing so becomes easy pickings for Capiana to clear the defenses. Well, ball picked up by Sikela, battling slightly with possession. It's a throw-in. Nelson Mandela studied anthropology, politics back in then, where he met his lifelong friend Oliver Tambo, who also graduated for his first degree in 1938 as the alumni of the University of Fort Hare. UKZN also has their own prides as far as the alumni are concerned. Tsepo Motsepe, the South African First Lady, the wife to the President Ramaphosa, also studied there. She's a physician by profession, of course. And Bongunkosi Emmanuel Nzimande. Yes.
And guess what?
Yes, the Minister of Higher Education.
Interesting
stats of you can see. So we're told that there will be a substitution. Dube will not be able to continue. And we'll confirm that for you in a moment. Takes a heavy knock as Jakla remains down. Opportunity still very much alive for UKZN, but they couldn't take advantage of it. Yeah. So struggling also is Jakla. Went down on that collision with Fihlela. So first substitution of the match. We'll just confirm that for you. Now coming on is Tobekile Buthelezi of Vryheid, an honor student in education. And also her birthday is coming up in September, on the 7th of September.
Wow.
Spring babies are springing right there at the TT Stadium. So I'm sharing a birthday with a lot of people, and I'm happy to see that. Not sure, because it's what you think about when your birthday approaches. You tend to see a lot of people born around the same date also. Bongeka manages to, rather, Tobeka Telezi, and is able to get the ball away from danger. Away by Capiana. Well, couldn't find a teammate. Falls for Nsele, who picks it up and manages to share it with Nshangase. Well, great defensive work to disposes. Well, they have an opportunity to try and take advantage of that space at the back, and not working out so well. No, sending instructions through. Already at the back is Nyusele, kept busy. looking to try and continue.
Far much better from UKZN. They are managing to find a width where Tandeka Changasa she's operating, and that's the key to unlock the opposition, utilize your width.
Changasa gets it into the box. Fihlela tries to lay it on. Opportunity to take from a distance. She does manage to connect well with the ball, but couldn't, sadly enough, keep it going as Fem.
Far much better. But I still feel she could have done far much better. Because from there, you don't just need a lot, you just need the elevation and then just aim into the poles. Because if you look at the height of Amahle in goals for UFH, you could easily beat her from a distance.
Mankai gets it away. Fem takes it out wide. Fihile gets to it. Did well to try and link up with the teammate and couldn't really get it where they would have desired. Ngwenyama having changed side now. She started as a left back. Now it looks as though she's slotted on the near side.
Yes, there is a change of personality, because if you look at Intrele, now she operates as a left back and Fem now as a holding six. It's because of Tobeka Putelezi. She came in and slotting in that centre back position, replacing Tobe. But again, look at the number of black shirts behind the ball. So they know exactly that once we get behind the ball and in good spaces, we'll be able to spring a surprise in terms of counter-attack going forward.
Well, tell him. Finds Butelezi. Butelezi slotted in right in centre back, and Fem concedes possession and well shielded by Nsele. Easy pickings from Charlie in goals.
I don't think Makaza she was waiting for that pass from Kwaita at all.
Anticipation is everything in football. If you are in good position, expect the teammate to try and locate you. Chapa does well to win possession, finds Mnyayi, and Mnyayi gives it away. Put themselves under pressure. Mnyayi.
We must make mention that the field is a little bit wet, so the type of boots that they are wearing sometimes, it will change the complexion of the game depending on how they try to get their balance.
Had the walkabout in the pitch, felt very soft, and for me, I'm just wearing formal shoes, so you can imagine with anyone that is wearing plastic studs, they will certainly sink in.
I've hardly seen in women football using long studs. Most of them, they always prefer the short studs. So yes, it's something that they thought they might maneuver, but trust me, that's the difference between winning and losing. Those are small margins.
Okay, no small margins. As they find another opportunity, is UKZN to try and build up an attack. It's in the last third that they have not been ticking. Shangase left on the floor by Zinyusele. Just well Zinyusele to find Sakela. Oh, Sakela battles for the ball with Mhlongo. Well, the battle continues. Seemed as if Sakela had one possession. Mkai trying her best to try and dispossess Fihile. Now, lovely ball out wide to find Nkomo. Plays it into the boxes, Nkomo, too close to the keeper. Well marshaled by Dinwayo.
Good communication also. We spoke about the game of numbers. Look at the numbers of UKZN players in the box to aim for. And that's the difference whenever they go into the final third. They lack options of attack.
Well, Mkaza at the half-hour mark is Mkaza looking to try and find a player. There's a lot of space in the box.
Sakele, she should be the one taking the center stage as a striker, but because of that hard run that she made, she's still huffing and puffing and still trying to recover.
That's just number 6. It's not Sakele. It's just number 6.
Good well from Makaza. She managed to find the width, but who was she aiming for? Hands. She just has to play the ball across, hoping that something happens.
Interesting that the Makakaza is their top goal scorer, but she's playing more wide instead of trying to play as a target man. I mean, for 14 goals that she has in the Sasol League this year, I'm certain the coach would want to use her more centrally.
As much as you might seeing her playing on the outside, she becomes a right front striker or right front attacker. So it means now she has to make the runs diagonally in anticipation of a ball played behind the defense.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is why you need the well of wisdom from those that have played the game to truly make us understand as it has evolved throughout the years. We just knew of strikers. Now there's a right center forward and there's a left center forward, I would presume, because what you do on the right you do on the left.
It's a forward. It's a right forward and a left forward.
Chaka does well as we continue to have lessons in the commentary box.
Shandla Famba, Shandla Vuya.
Legends of the game used to run out in the colors of Morocco Swallows, and when I say run out, I mean it in every sense of the word. Very pacey day, a very pacey player in his days is James Mainga.
You could see there, Sakele, that she has had it enough because she has been doing a lot of work. So she's stretching that UKZN defense, but she forgets to join in as a second striker from left forward attacking position.
Vilakazi has been kept quiet throughout this last 15 minutes. We've reached half an hour mark. It's still goalless between these two sides. Nothing to truly write home about. UFH have had better chances at goal, but they've overall been dominated by UKZN, who've seen most of the ball, and they lose it in the last third, just before they put that final touch into the box. Very organized and solid in defense is UFH.
One thing that UKZN they're not doing, they have Zitembiso Vilakazi. She has a good range of passes. If she can have a foot on the ball, she can make that UKZN team play, but they're bypassing her in most of the time. Hence, that creativity is lacking for UKZN going forward.
Senala Fem winning that ball. Does well to find a teammate in Changase. Changase! Wow! Intention very clear.
That's Vilakazi I was talking about. Once they go through her, she'll be able to maneuver the space in between. I mean, look at the pocket of spaces where she receives the ball, the way she scans, the way she turns, and immediately she had the eye set on goal, and unfortunately didn't have the elevation she was looking for to trouble Amahle in goals. And that's the key of UKZN.
Lovely turn from Changase, and there really was promising. Four fouls committed by UFH shows how resolute in defense they've really been, and also shows you that UKZN have dominated possession, pulling all attention. Fihlile. Referee's optional time will be 1 minute. Of course, they play 35 per half. Unlike the normal 45 minutes they will play. Nice. Now, Ndlovu looking for Mgagaza. Well, she's going on for pace against Butelis. Mgagaza! Oh, can't get it on target with the goalkeeping. She couldn't place it.
That's what we spoke about earlier on, in anticipation of the ball played over the top, and for her to join in and look at the pace where she went. Unfortunately, from there she only headed it, but credit must be given to the goalkeeper of UKZN, because she narrowed the angle very quickly. She came out very quickly and making sure that she forces Makaza to rush a shot. But good play from UFH, and that has been the key. That's why she was the top goal scorer, as you mentioned earlier.
well, 30 goals in 2 seasons now so far. There's Mkaraza. She's shown the glimpses of brilliance. Ngonyama. Well, out to safety. Confirmation of that 1 added minute. Of course, you would remember that varsity football, the women's edition, is played at 35 minutes per half, with a 10-minute break in between. So, not a lot of times, as the ladies are used to playing 45 minutes in their respective Sasol league. They need to get things done quick. And I'll talk about quick, who really can't find space. Ball still bubbling in the box, and keeper needed the assistance of the defenders and helper.
And unwinding some few seconds for that bit before they go to the break.
It seems as though that's what goalkeepers are taught, and they're made to remember. Mhlongo wins the battle, but gives away the ball. Kagaza combining well with her captain Kapiana and Selim. Will look to launch that ball forward. Can't find space.
From my football understanding, if you look at Mkakaza and Kwaicha, the reason why they always look deadly is because Mkakaza, she always looks for the ball on the space than on the feet. And that's why most of the time she plays only one touch, and then she spin off and then looking for the ball on the other end. And that has been the key and the strength of University of Fort Hare, but they are not utilizing that more often, because in their minds it's all about not conceding an early goal to unsettle them, but wait for UKZN to come in and look for those spaces behind when they leave, because their rest defense sometimes goes to sleep.
A key player Ngeka being stretched off from that. That's where she got her injury. Late tackle from Shongo.
We spoke about the slippery pitch. These are some of the consequences of the slippery pitch. Yes, it was not a dangerous play from Shongo as she was cleared, but because of that momentum, it ended up went straight to Kwachia. Let's hope she can recover quickly, because she has the ace to try and find the spaces they will be looking for in the University of Fort Hare attack.
Referee Msizana sees that the first half curtain can be brought to a close and go into the history book as level pegging these two sides. Yes, they will have some conversations that they need to talk about as far as creation and finishing things off in that last third. Well, for UKZN, it has been a half to behold, but for UFH, they've been well in defense, resolute and disciplined. Sees UFH go to a half level pegging at 0-0.
Whatever you do, keep running with us on DSTV, the home of sport.
In South Africa, football is culture.
There was no money, so they played to die. But there was big football, quality football.
Your gathering here is unlawful.
You can never have normal sport in a totally abnormal society.
It holds some of our greatest triumphs and finest memories.
Sono decides to clown it up, much to the joy of Pirates support.
It's therapeutic, but also it's infectious. It's almost like religion to us.
No, Diski now is a lifestyle.
the pit lane.
Back into the race. Oh, wow!
Fire up your heart with 31 days of the hottest sport on the planet. August on Supersport. All the amazing sport content you love on DSTV Stream.
Turn up. Switch on. Get in. Keep going.
Oh, that's a good ball. Urge to go for goal, and she finds it.
Stand tall.
And she'll arriving.
Dig deep.
Lovely release.
Get
oh,
it.
yes, she can.
Feed it.
Ball in.
Control it.
Penalty.
See it.
Yes.
Shine. The 2023 FIFA Women's World Cup, lighting up your screens from 20 July till 20 August. With every game live on Supersport, on DSTV. This broadcast is brought to you by Santam.
Round one of the 2023 edition of the Varsity Women's Football. It's currently goalless at the first of 45 between UFH as well as UKZN. I'm alongside Fabian McCarthy here at the Tshwane University of Technology Stadium. Fabs, I mean, you look at both sides, and the fact that it's still goalless at this stage tells you about the level of competitiveness we're yet to see this year.
Yeah, you can see the girls are coming out. They're trying to do a lot. The pitch is not, it's a bit slippery. They're not using the right cleats, but you don't expect them to change because remember, these are students. They don't have all the equipment that the professionals have. But for me, UKZN looks more organized, looks more structured. You know, they play through the lines, nice build-up, trying to get for UFH on the counter-attack. But then again, they're sitting deep. They're waiting for that break attack, and I mean, they had a clear goal scoring opportunity in the first half.
Fabian mentions that UKZN have had the lion's share of ball position. Is this because they have the experience? You look at UFH, this is their debut season in varsity women's football.
Yeah, definitely you can see the skill and obviously the accuracy, trying to get the ball to the goals, but I think there was not enough power behind that ball. But good skill there, getting away from the marker, taking the shot. I think Vilakazi is the main player in the middle of UKZN.
It's UFH currently goalless alongside University of KwaZulu-Natal. Something James mentioned in our build-up is the height difference. You look at UKZN, you look at UFH, they're not the tallest girls on the pitch.
Yeah, they're not that tall, but Lindewe, you can see that ball over behind the defense. The goalkeeper of UKZN was very lucky because that was goal bound. But I mean, the precision wasn't there, and that's a good goal attempt. I mean, you for the area, if they score that goal, then UKZN was gonna change a lot.
Yep, Coach Asanda of UFH will be impressed with the first 45 because it is their debut season in this competition, and for them to hold UKZN to a goalless draw so far in the match, they'll be very impressed with how they've fared so far. Let's take a look at the first 35 stats between these sides, UFH as well as University of KwaZulu-Natal. Fabian McCarthy did mention the ball possession looking pretty much even, 50-50 on either side. The shots attempt, the shots on target, 1 on either side, and the goal attempts, you mentioned it, UFH 5 and UKZN Fabian 2.
Yeah, look, it's well balanced. I think this game is just gonna take 1 goal for the team to win it.
Is this match going to be a match won on very low margin? Does it not look like it's going to be a high scoring game?
Look, I'm looking at 1 goal here because you know, they cancel each other out. They're more cautious. They're defending in numbers. It's just about who's going to make a mistake in that final crucial time or area in the game.
Well, for University of Forte, they want to have fun. They want the experience up against University of KwaZulu-Natal. And this is how the two sides are looking on the bench. I mean, for UFH, Fabian, something that stood out for us is that they don't have a goalkeeper. And this is going to be a bit of a long tournament because they're playing back to back to back to back until Monday.
Listen, the transfer window is still open, so they can just fly somebody in and give a contract. The coach now has to see who of the players can put their hand up and say, Coach, I will fill in and I'll stand in.
Well, will it stay like this in the opening round of the 2023 varsity women's football, or will we see a goal in the next 35 minutes here at the TUT, the home of champions? Stay with your World of Champions because the second half will be coming up shortly, and then we also have 3 other games live on your World of Champions. James Mayinga in commentary alongside Bafana Mosman in English. It's round 1 of the 2023 varsity women's football. #Iyachisa.
Our power. A power that brings the very best to the league. Magnificent! A power that grows to continue the legacy. They are back in front! A power that will have you never missing a game. A power that causes 1,000 voices to roar. For the fiercest clashes. Biggest rivalry. For El Clasico. Madrid Derby. And Sevilla Derby. It's the power of the Spanish League. The power of La Liga. Get DSTV and watch the unrivaled power of La Liga. Live and in HD on your World of Champions on DSTV, the home of sport.
Witness history and glory in the UEFA Super Cup final, the home of football.
Listen to the roar here. It's a spine-tingling atmosphere. In a state of terrified, tantalised suspense. This could be very, very special indeed. Oh, that's a monster. Lovely control. Wheel the wheel, all the way to the end.
Fire up your heart with 31 days of the hottest sport on the planet. Whoa! August on Supersport. All the amazing sport content you love on DSTV Stream.
Voor Kitsch, voor Kraaifontein, voor Scala. Voor Affies, voor Porus en voor Stellenbosch.
For Uzizi, Utakawunda.
For those who came before us.
For Johnny Clegg, Noshaka, Osenzangakon.
For Opa.
En voor jou, Pa.
For Nkosi Sigalela.
For Stephen Bego, Tatu Matiba, en Mama Miriam Makeba.
For Bethlehem and for the bomb squad.
For die laities met die oudstep.
For Os, for Beast, for Bakkies. For Menai. For Ian Ludwigstraat.
For Cholonga, King Williamstown.
Vir Daarsdorp en vir hele Karoo.
Kubo bonke abantu baseMzantsi Afrika, kuba silapha nje nini.
It is quite a sight. It is quite a sound. It is a terrific scene here. Sparkling modernity with the rich history. Sevilla again and again and again.
Manchester City keep the good times rolling.
Witness history and glory in the UEFA Super Cup final between England's Man City and Spain's Sevilla, only on Supersport, your World of Champions. DSTV, the home of football.
Well, welcome back to you in the second half of the match between UFH and UKZN. It's the first match of Group B of these two sides. The next match after this will come through. It will be the University of Pretoria Ducks, as they are affectionately known. They'll be taking on Wits University at this very ground. That game will be the second match right after this. Temba Boy will be bringing that to you live. But at the moment, it's UKZN, yes, that are still level pegging against University of Fort Hare. UKZN formed in 2004, merger of University of Durban-Westville and the University of Natal. It's what they play out here as now known as University of KZN. Brings out together the history of Durban-Westville, which was established in the 1960s. University of College for Indians on the Salisbury Island, while the Natal University College was founded in 1910. It was based in Pietermaritzburg. Together they came to form University of KZN. Yep, year for her. An initiative SuperSport started this year. Well, of course, in the netball World Cup, you've seen a production team made up of ladies only, and also the officials. Here, it's just ladies only. Also, those in the stands enjoying themselves and getting onto their apps to try and predict the score. But for now, I'm certain most wouldn't have guessed that it will be 0-0, considering the chances that UFH had in front of goal.
Absolutely.
It looks as though that they'll be looking to the bench as UKZN. We'll confirm that for you in the moment of who is set to come in. They'll be making their first substitution, their second substitution rather. Dube was a forced one. This looks as though to be a substitution of choice. Vilagazi will come off, and it's rather Changase will be the one that comes off, and Bongiwe Olo will be coming in. Hails from Durban, a Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery. That is what she is currently studying, and looks up at Rifilwe Jane as her role model. So, second half underway. UKZN kick us off, but they lost the position very early. Follow us on Twitter at SuperSport TV. That's where we are. Hashtag #IaChesa. That is what you can use to try and communicate with us and tell us your thoughts exactly. Just above your picture there, other teams arriving that will be taking part a bit later on in the day. Of course, there are 4 games on offer for you. We're starting off with those 2 between UKZN as well as UFH. And the next game right after this one will be Ducks that will be taking on Wits. UJ as well as UWC will be clashing later on. And the day will be closed out by TUT, who will be taking on Durban University of Technology.
We spoke about the slippery pitch earlier on, and this is what happened to Kwaita. She has been on the receiving end for the better part of the first half. Now it looks like the same order is still going forward in the second half.
Well, they'll be battling. They'll be slipping everywhere, it seems. Minutes already in the second half coming on. They've made 2 changes. Is University of KwaZulu-Natal, but played over too close to the keeper. Sikere not arriving on time to trouble Mchali. UFH have not made any changes, James, and no surprise because they've got the thinner squad as far as the teams that are here and concerned. Now opportunity looking brightly up front. Nkomo lies it into the box. They're still battling for it. Oh no! Oh, blocked. No, a promising move from UKZN. They started the first half with a clear intention. Kolo out wide to try and find Fihlile. She gets there. She is battling it out with Zinyusele. A grass cutter like shot. And Fem. The idea is to try and get it into the back of the net. They will use any means necessary.
It looks like the same means that UKZN utilized in the first half. They're doing with the same one. One player that they'll always want to have closer to goals, that's Vilakazi, Zitembiso Vilakazi, should be key in terms of making sure that those attacks from UKZN are key and well orchestrated.
Orchestration is everything. They try and orchestrate another attack. Battle between Buthelezi as well as Mkagaza seeming to continue. Mkagaza did well enough to put Buthelezi under pressure, forcing her to give away a corner. Yes, she's got classes. Remember Edgar Davids, back in the day that used to play for Holland? Yes, played with the glasses on also. And Edgar Davids, oh, what a player.
Well, with the left foot, also speak about glasses. Our assistant referee also.
Better vision.
We are here for her.
Get there with the corner. Now the goalkeeper. Not the best of techniques. Upset with her defense. They're upset with her. And she tells everybody, come down. Now Steven Endlai.
Ababulabul. Lack of communication. That's all Mjalishi needs to do to bring that confidence as the last line of defense. Because from there you could see she went for the ball. So when you say keeper, everyone must move.
Second corner for UFH. 2 corners apiece with the 2 sides. Looking to play it out of danger. Well, Fihlela can't get it past Jack. Ngunyama does all to try and keep it alive, but not working out for her as well as she would have liked. Away from danger by Mhlongo. In back by Jaka. Oh, the goalkeeper will look to hurry up and get there. She makes a mistake. Is this the opportunity that they've been waiting for, UFH? And Kagaza again playing wide. She is struggling with it.
It's supposed to be a routine catch-up for the goal, but that bounce, there was a bounce before she could catch that ball, and unfortunately inside that Mjali, hence she ended up fluffing the ball. So she needs to make sure that she gets to the ball first and able, because you could see from the way she was going, it was more of a routine one, but it became difficult with the bounce. Lalela angayembi ikona impela kulaya maendlele yena angarila tsakisaka.
Well, there's a player down for UFH. The medical team will run off to try and see what could have really happened. Oh, this is a clash for Fihlele with Zinyusile. We saw the similar from Dube earlier on, and she got substituted after taking the ball in the mid-rib. Will it be the case, James?
Defenders, they always stand tall. And look at Zifune there. She said, you know what, I'm going to soldier on because I know we've got a thin squad. So for me, it's all about making sure that I keep the balance.
Ngunyama, the captain, looking to try and get it restarted. Does well to get it restarted. And Fihlela looks to keep it alive. Ngeke helps to get it away from danger.
The idea was there, but unfortunately it just slips off or zip off the surface. We call it 360 ekasi. Unfortunately for Kwaita, the idea was there, but unfortunately the ball just zipped off the surface and it let it go.
Kwaita Kapiana, the captain of UFH, showing the strength and the intelligence of a footballer. Chakla Sesetu. looking to try and now launch an attack in Mkakaza.
Here's the thing about UFH. Because they're sitting too deep, soaking all the pressure, they don't have an outlet that they will use in the break attack, because most of the time you find that they only have two players, but who's the connecting player? It's supposed to be Kwahita, but because she's too deep, she's unable to have the legs to carry her to the final third in most of the time, and that's one aspect they just need to fix.
They're trying to conjure a way to try and make their way into the box, which will present a much more clear opportunity in a direct one. Chakla, after hard work to try and win that ball, couldn't. She's got the legs. Here's Fihlela. We'll get there first. Before Amahle intercepted and out for a throw-in. Fihlela, her pace is certainly one to watch out for, the one that hails from Empangeni, student of BSc in Computer Science and IT.
Interesting.
She is in her first year, so you can imagine
the aspirations. Yeah, yes. Jonzo Emoshore.
Education is key. Well, trying to fight off that ball, really, no one really taking chance of it. Oh no. Ball in the box, the keeper almost making a hash of it, but did well to get her body behind it and ensure that it bounces off her body and back into her hands safely.
I like the anticipation, I like the confidence. Reading of the game from Dinwayo Amahle. She has given UFH confidence as the last line of defense.
As the corner, Ngenelwa.
That's a sore one.
They challenge from Pumlankomo.
But look what I was talking about. Very quick, anticipating, making sure that she's ready to start play. Presence of mind, at the right place, at the right time.
Honors in human movement science. She is struggling to move right now as Zikona Genelwa. Well, I'm sure she'll tell the physios on exactly what to do.
Can you imagine?
Because she's already gotten her bachelor's, now she's busy doing with her honors.
It becomes practical for her now.
Final touch coming from Kapiana, the captain. Oh, lovely one from Fam. Does well to beat the second defender. And great recovery from Jaka.
I want her to speak more about Stembiso Vilakazi from UKZN. She scored the only goal in 2018 for the under-17 women's in the South African women's squad in a World Cup at Estadio Charrua against Brazil. They went and lost the game by 4-1.
Spirit Luthi was there.
She was the head coach.
She is now currently the assistant of the Banyana.
Yes.
So it tells you that continuity is everything. So Vilakazi, also her dominant performance so far in this game, goes on to show that continuity.
And also in terms of levels, her football understanding, it shows that she has played at the highest level. So that experience is rubbing off in the UKZN team.
At the moment, still 0-0. Wow, that was a keeper's ball more than anything. Not sure what was happening.
Safety first.
Vilakazi gets one into the box. Again, very same defender coming out and protecting Dinwayo. On the hindsight, maybe the keeper may feel as though the defense doesn't have much confidence on him. Mkanyi gives away possession. Fihlela wins it for UKZN. Ball launched into the box, finds the header of Zifune. Oh, two-footed challenge. Referee spotted it. And we'll give a free kick in the side of University of Fort Hare.
You could see the disappointment the slippery pitch will always be tricky when it comes to tackles. So the referees, they need just to guard against, because sometimes it can be the momentum whereby the player was not going there maliciously, so but because of the slippery feet.
As was the case in Nkomo's challenge, didn't intend to be a footed challenge. Momentum over carried it. Another player down for UFH, and giving position away is Nesen. Kapiana wearing the captain's armband, one of the key players to watch out for in this UFH side, and struggling now, it seems, with Zinyusele Bakolisi. Hails from East London. So the coach Asanda Mrankiso has led the Sasol team to the provincial playoffs without losing a match. So as far as it comes to masterminding on how to win games is concerned, they've got the right men on the bench.
It is, but it's a different ball game when it comes to women's varsity football, because they're new to it. As much as they've qualified during the USA, this time around it's different, because some of the players that they had by then are no longer part of this team. So for him to try and integrate some of the players, it will take an arm and a leg to get that cohesion and the fluidity.
She'll be able to continue as Vilagazi. Her experience is certainly needed. Well, University of Pretoria arriving in song and high spirits. They take on Vets University. Doesn't get anywhere closer to try and bother the goalkeeper, but that one certainly brought out the best out of Dinwayo.
She says, hold on, I've got this. I mean, look at the anticipation again. Her positioning has been very impressive. She has that calmness in her, and that gives confidence to any team, Bafana. As a keeper, when you have the calmness and the composure, trust me, your defense, they rest, knowing that we are safeguarded at the back.
3 saves so far. Well, she's stretching, looks slow. Maybe she may be concerned, some concerns on her left knee. But in the meantime, they'll make their first substitution. As Tandile Ngofa comes on. Comes from the East London. First year as a Bachelor of Agriculture student. Extension into production, of course. Her experience and highest playing level comes in the Sasol League. Her favorite player, CR7. So won't be surprised if she does a stew if she scores.
Let's see what she'll do in the early minutes of participation.
That's it. Can't get the better of Fem. Great recovery from Fem. Now UKZN looking to try and launch with a little bit of pace. Oh no. Does well to keep the ball in and taken out by Sikele. Sakela with the final touch, and Godo has come on as a substitution at the start of the second half.
You could see the disappointment there, apologizing to a player to say sorry, but Zifune Manela, she had a fantastic game at left back for UFH. She has done extremely well.
Well, the floodlights have come on, and that reason because the overhead conditions have changed slightly. With 19 degrees now, there's more cloud cover than there was when we began. Is tasked with some defensive duties. We'll expect the temperatures to drop as we go into the night. Of course, we're expecting a lowest of 9 degrees Celsius will only leave after the final game of the day, and that final game will be between DUT and TUT much later. Kickoff at 1900 hours. Before that, UJ will take on UWC, and right before that, after this one, it's UP that will be taking on Vets.
Ya hari ka nguva ya xixika ka titimela swa lava hi mbala.
Well, but August has traditionally been a windy month, not so cold as the August of 2023. Certainly telling you that things have changed.
Maxelo a hambanile ya 2023 na laman'wana ya khale.
Swa tikomba. But hey, the conditions, overhead conditions, has not deterred anyone from coming through. It's Friday after all. Now swing up. Sakela will try and keep that ball in and recover it, but it looks as though it's the ball that will win the race. It's the touchline rather that will win the race between ball and Sakela. Nkomo, first touch, shows too much to UFH defense. And referee could have really played advantage there when they got to it. Isn't offer. Down is a student of Bachelor of Science, majoring in chemistry as well. She's got 13 goals in the Sasso League, one of the 8 players that bring the Sasso League experience in this game. 8 fouls overall, 3 by UKZN and 5 by UFH. They've got a good opportunity to try and get the ball into the box. Ball played over the bounce. Oh, keeper did well. She read that very well and made sure that she gets her body behind the ball. Basics from any goalkeeper, and she got that right.
When you talk about routine saves, it's one of those. With the trickery of the bounce and the slippery surface, she did well, Charlie. Compared to earlier on, she managed to redeem herself.
Oh, they'll want to redeem themselves and get the back of the net. Chapa. Still has a painful hand. She will shake off the pain and continue to soldier on. This is Varsity Football Cup. They're still waiting for them to rattle the back of the net. It hasn't happened. We're going into just under 10 minutes left in this game.
It's one of the difficult games, yet easy. Take into account that UFH, they just came here to say, you know what, we don't want to concede. All we need to do is just to bring that surprise element. There isn't much expectations because we know that UKZN has so much experience in this women's varsity football.
Well, ball played into the box. The keeper came out and changed her mind midway there. Sakela couldn't punish because the ball didn't really sit up as well as she would have liked it.
The anticipation, she couldn't connect with the pass. But again, will you give credit to Mchali? Yes, because she came in and went out. So that insight of Sakele took her eyes off the ball.
Ganelwa does well in defense for UFH. Throw in, one easy by Capiana. She hasn't put the foot wrong, is the captain. She's really represented very well, hails from Queenstown. She's doing her masters in posture science. Mohamed Salah is her favorite player.
Yeah. Will be a Queen's in funding.
She is 23 years of age and already doing her masters. Tells you how most of the players have taken education very serious.
You matriculated at the age of 17, 18, so I'm not surprised.
And if you're a bookworm, you can certainly go on to study right up until your PhD days and get your doctrine as well. And it's quite interesting to see this happening with a lot of the young youth. And looking to place it as Nkomo, wide of goal. Curled it away from target.
Great initiative. With the right technique, she could have done better.
Slindile Ndlovu, one attempt. And that is the one that has gone off target. Instead, gives possession away. Battling to bring that ball under control. Dispossessed now. Opportunity to launch. Nkomo's first touch showed too much to Jaka. And two players just collided. And leg this.
As she was limping, she went straight. Also, the ball just blasted over her, unfortunately, because
looking to try and use the far side to create. Not winning the possession. Now Fihlela as well to win possession with a back to goal. Fem. Battles for the ball with Ngofe. It's Fem that wins that battle. Still keeping it alive for UKZN. Loose ball, no one really taking full advantage of it. Played over the defense. Instead, looking to try and win it. Mgagaza has really been quiet.
Look how far she is, and she's the outlet to spring that counter attack. So why would you want her to go as deep as that? Because if you look at the ample space that is there in front of her, you rather have her on the halfway line. Once you win it, and then you're able to play it over the top like they did in the first half.
Slindile Ndlovu will be making way, and Asanda Ngele will be coming on of Peter Maritzbeck. She is a law student in her second year. Also looks up to the national captain in Refilwe Jane. Telezi will clear out of defense. Mkagaza. Oh, back-heeled nicely. Abantwana Bestend. Played over in looking for Sakela. The bounce, puts Mchali under pressure. But in recovery, Mchali gets fouled in the process by Sakela. Referee spotted it. And Mchali will get the treatment. 19 years of age is Mchali. Comes from Nongoma.
It looked like a harmless ball. That bounce again. That routine save again. Unfortunately, she just went there easy on the ball, and the persistence of Sakela kept her away from, and hence she managed to fight. But look at Sakela persisting at a run, making sure that she puts her under pressure.
Leme Sakela, 2 tackles, 1 foul committed. Dlamini giving instructions with time not on their side. They have 7.5 minutes to try and get a goal in this match and ensure that they pick up their first 3 points in their second appearance. Well, it's a first for Coach Dlamini, but also taking their instructions.
The calmness that she brings into the team. You could see even the way she ushers instructions to her players to say, this is how we're supposed to do. Yes, they might be predicting the scoreline, but as it stands, it looks a stalemate. It will need an individual brilliance from either ladies to come up with that surprise element to get the opener. And that will set the precedency for the 2023 women's varsity football.
They'll play 3 games, a draw for them. It's the opening match. It will put them under pressure to try and win the next 2 games. It will be against very formidable side. We'll give you the sides in a moment. Well, they have a corner that they need to really worry themselves about. It's UKZN. Mtali happy to get back up and compete. It will be interesting to see if she'll be able to compete fully.
No foul, guys, no foul. Let's go.
So, the 3rd corner of the match for University of Fort Hare. Played over. Doesn't really get past the first white jersey. Vilarazi and company, they managed to clear it out of defense. Mkagaza, oh, couldn't get it where she really desired. Is Mkagaza. Clears it away is Zifune. Well, other members of Group B is University of Pretoria as well as Wits. That game will be played in the 2nd half. In Group A, it's defending champions University of Joburg, UWC, last year's semi-finalists. DUT as well as TUT make up the 2nd group. Both groups will play as round robin. Those that finish 1st and 2nd will then go on to play the semi-finals, and then from then on the finals will then be decided. Who will it be? Will it be UFH, who are coming to the tournament for the very first time, or will it be University of Johannesburg, who've been in the final 3 times, won it twice, first in 2013, 2nd in 2022? So, or will it be UWC that lost in the final the previous year? They've won it the year before that in 2021. So there's all to play for. UP Tax also won it in 2014 as well. So there's lots to really play for. Vets, you can't really count them out. So you're really spoiled for choice if you want to have opinions on who's going to lift this trophy, but we'll definitely deliver every exciting episode of every match right here on your World of Champions.
Have you forgotten the 6-time champion?
TUT. Who forgets them? It's their home grounds. They know the conditions better than any of the teams here, so they'll have an opportunity to use it to their fullest advantage, but they take on an unpredictable DUT later on in the day. So it's going to be quite interesting to see on who will put up their hands first. Garaza gets it long forward also. Sikela trying to run towards it, but it's too close for Mchali. She'll collect under no pressure whatsoever. I'll look at trying to restart play. 4.5 minutes of regulation time left in this game. Well, let's see. Finds some Garaza. Really believe maybe centrally she can give better options. She looks to get it into the box, finds Ziana, the captain. Well, tries to line it up for a shot and gets fouled in the process by Buthelezi. Well, good place for a free kick. It's goal facing.
Look at the anticipation from Kwaita, and there Buthelezi, unfortunately she just throws herself, because she knew what was coming from the end. Unfortunately conceding a foul in a most promising area. So unfortunately for Buthelezi there, because she knew exactly what was going to happen from Kwaita. But let's see what UFH can do from this time around. For me, it's all about elevating it over the wall with a great height, and then the rest will take care of itself. Because if you look at Mchali from the earlier butterfly hands, something might give in from that point in view.
Buthelezi, the first one to go into the referee's black book 3 minutes before full time. It'll be interesting to see how it's going to happen. Kwaita, Kapiana goes directly for goal. It's Kapiana. The wall does its job, and making sure that they don't give her a sighted goal, doing enough to cover that and goal kick in the end.
But why don't you aim for the poles? Don't try to swing the ball or somewhere. Aim for the pole, and that's it. Because it was clear.
There's an interesting point you made earlier on, and how most of the goals have been scored in women's football. It has always been looping the keeper.
Yes.
But I've seen in this game, no one has really tried that. And you look at the height of the two respective goalkeepers, aerially, they will find it difficult to deal with any looping balls.
It's a simple and a straightforward ratio, Bafana. When you look at the keeper's height, yes, I'm not undermining any short keepers, but from there it tells you to say, just get the elevation right. Aim for the 45, aim for the central one, but have it on a higher elevation. And from there, the rest will take care of itself.
It's another way of testing the keeper's agility, of course. She can spring high enough to save it, of course. That's the reason why they train all the time, to try and perfect and sharpen their skills, of course. Well, brought down is the Fune. Clean job done by Nkomo. Oh, Ngonyama. That challenge must have been a hard one. The referee obviously plays advantage for UFH. Is this the moment? Kagaza looking for spaces to get centrally. No is the answer. Not yet the moment, but still alive for UFH. Well, a touch from Polo takes it away from them. They still within UFH. Can she keep it in? Sakele, yes, is the answer. Ball played into the box. And Butelezi and company provide protection from Charlie. She gathers it with no pressure at all, isn't Charlie? Minute left of regulation time to be played.
Difficult game, as both teams, they lack the aggression up front, they lack their numbers whenever they're attacking. But more importantly, it was the congestion of the midfield, whereby there was a lot of counter pressing, and that made it difficult for them to have a sight of space, closing the lines, making sure that they don't give each other time and space on the ball.
Time, space, a luxury that both these teams have not been enjoying. The latter one of time, of course, not on their side, is these both sides. The coach, very calm figure. I haven't seen her shout at the top of her lungs.
She's waiting for that opener. It's not coming.
Well, she had anticipated by now there will be some goals to write home about, to talk about, but regulation time has come and gone. Now all they have left is the 3 minutes. Will it be enough for them to try and get onto the score sheet? Opportunity not taken. Well, since having come on, it's been very quiet substitution. Jakla looking to play it away from danger. Sakela's first touch. Lets it down, but recovers on time. Oh, she's got Fem for comfort. That has been a battle we've watched out throughout the match between Fem as well as Sakela on either attacking thirds.
Fem has done extremely well since she has been moved from a centre-back position to a holding midfielder. She has given them the balance. She has been denying the opposition that time and space on the ball in most of the times.
Well, Butelezi has had her fair share of good moments in defence. She's come out tops in some battles and lost some battles, of course, to Kagaza. Her pace has been troublesome for the defense of UKZN, but they've managed to keep her quiet. Or is it her wide positioning that has certainly kept her quiet, James?
It's the supply.
Shot at goal from the captain. She decides to take matters into her own hand as a leader in the pitch. Didn't get enough power behind that ball. Still alive for UKZN, looking to try and get it into the attacking third. They lose possession.
And the reason for the lack of supply from Makaza is because if you look at Ngese, you look at Aita, they are more deep compared to earlier on in the first half, whereby they were a little bit advanced. So that's where the difference is now. That's why she's forced to fend for herself.
Vilagazi, would this be the moment that she finds the back of the net? Oh, not yet. Oh no is not the answer. Much to the disappointment of the UKZN bench. They had that one countered with her experience that you've mentioned on how she's done on bigger stages.
Good way to maneuver and left, but look at the pace, the blistering pace there. From there, how many options does she have? Another, how many? 3 defenders in counting, forgetting that the goal line is so close.
With seconds before it's done and dusted, your impressions of this match?
It has been a cagey affair. Take into account that there hasn't been clear-cut chances that has been constructed by 2 teams. But more importantly, it's more about the midfield battle, whereby the likes of Fem, the likes of Ntsele have been so key in terms of not allowing Jakas, Nozele and also Sakele that amount and luxury whenever they are attacking.
Well, if there is anything to fix, is the movement in the last third for both these teams.
Yes, the final third has been disappointing. And again, you'll understand because they deployed different tactics for the game. The game plan was for UFH was to sit back and make sure that they shock the pressure and counter-attack. But UKZN, they couldn't break that UFH wall, whereby they didn't change the different types of attack.
Referee Msizana brings this game to a close. So the first match in Group B between UFH as well as UKZN, it ends in a stalemate. They get to share the points. Well, the 2 coaches will go on and meet the either technical bench and shake their hands, but it's a job that they could have finished and in glorious opportunities that they've tried to create. But of course, they've denied each other space. They've denied each other the opportunities to get into this game. UFH will be happy with the results, being the debutants in the tournament, but they'll be looking to try and see if in their next game they can change things around. Well, for UKZN, it's a game they dominated in possession, but they failed in the final third to create anything that has seen them go on to the score sheet. So after 70 minutes has come and gone, even referee's optional time, nothing could still separate the 2 sides. It ends here at the TUT Stadium, 0 between the 2 sides. They're back to the drawing board. They collect a point each. It's round robin. It can come in handy, this 1 point that they collect each. 2 matches each side still have to play. They still have to take on Ducks and Vets respectively are both these sides. So it's going to be quite interesting to see on how they'll be looking to try and line it up and move it forward. Well, at the end of 70 minutes, it's UKZN and University of Fort Hare. Nothing could separate the 2 sides. So UFH 0, UKZN 0. Lindiwe Dube standing downstairs with the woman of the match.
Thank you, commentary. Bafana Mosman alongside James Mayinga, Luvo Mlobeli, as well as Buitumelo Potsane. Our FNB player of the match is Nosiko Makaza of UFH, presenting her 1,500 rands check, as well as an FNB branded ball, is FNB sponsorship manager Shafika Isaacs. Congratulations, Nosipo. Hey, Joe, does it feel like a win considering that it's your debut season in varsity women's football?
Yes. I'm happy with this draw because it's our first time on varsity football, so I'm satisfied.
Asikhulume ngeperformance yakho, I mean player of the match in your debut season, round 1. Ujabulile ngeperformance yakho?
Yes, I'm happy. I'm happy.
What are your aspirations for yourself as an individual and for the rest of the team? It's okay. It's okay. Thank you, Nosipho. Well done. Our FNB player of the match. Her favorite player is Kylian Mbappe. Let's bring in now her captain, who is Kwaita Kapiana. Congratulations. Hey, Joe, I was telling Nosipho, does it feel like a victory considering that it's your first season in this competition?
Ewe. Injalo.
Nenze kanjani ukuthi nithole i-draw eso bangakori?
Kukusebenza kanzima and to be united. Into esingcedisileyo is that we worked as a team, which is what's important.
Yeah. And then bukeke ngathi azange switch on from the onset until the final whistle. You guys njengoba usho ndlale as a team.
Andikuvanga kahle ke.
Ngisho ukuthi azange switch off. I-game mayicala and maintain the same intensity.
Yeah, it's part of the preparations zethu ba xa singena, firstly you have to be physically and mentally fit. So ilonto esingcedisileyo kakhulu.
Siyabonga Skip. And Sneh, a draw in your opening fixtures. How does it feel?
It's no kanyangonyama. Yes, today was a tough match. The only thing that you needed, it was a goal. It was a goal, and it's the ground. Yes, it was a challenge to us.
Are you happy that they didn't score?
Yes, we are happy that they didn't score. We didn't consider. Yes, we are happy.
What would you like to work on going forward?
To work as a team, and the ground, it was so challenging, but to work as a team and score more goals. But next game, I'm pretty sure that you're going to win the game.
Siyabonga sis.
Yes, siyabonga.
Well, it ends goalless between University of Forte as well as the University of KwaZulu-Natal. It's match day 1. Let's confirm, of course, what just transpired and what you can look forward to on your World of Champions up next. University of Pretoria up against Wits. It's an all-Gauteng derby. And then later we've got a rematch of last year's final.